How's it going, everybody? I hope everybody's doing fine. I feel like I have an interesting one for you guys. I also have a feeling that this one's going to be a little longer, so grab your coffee, your tea, beer, whatever you're drinking, and let's get through a couple of things. The point of this video is to get the facts out, to motivate, especially people who are just getting into this business, and to be as real as possible coming from I would say an objective point of view. The reason I have this up, this is going to be my starting shot, is because it's going to bring us into the topic of this video, just like you saw in the title and the screenshot, because I think that this is a real question, but we have to be very careful answering it. And I think that also takes changing the point of view and the whole perception about print on demand. Let me get the topic here. So this came from one of you guys a few days ago. I put out a video about a day that I found was very interesting because international marketplaces were just uh, outperforming the U.S. At this point in the day. I had zero sales in the U.S. and this person, who, by the way, I actually view this in a very positive way. So thank you very much for the question. And I'm going to be, because you started out with saying serious question, with that many products listed, why are your sales so bad? And I read that, and you can go in many different directions when you read something like this, right? People can get defensive and say, no, my sales aren't bad, they're amazing. People can get very um, sad about something like this and say, oh, I didn't realize my sales are so bad. Why am I doing so bad? But if we take this in a very serious, objective way and talk about the numbers, let's talk about number one, the expectation. I'm gonna go back to this screen here. Maybe we can even go here. I guess with that many products listed, let's show how many products are listed. So I'm in tier 20,000. I have 12,262 designs live and 550,424 live products. So these are huge numbers. And we have to actually take a minute to understand how huge these numbers are. 550,000 products. Now, for anybody who's actually been in this business for, let's say, even a number of years, recently with the new change and the new format that Merch by Amazon has taken, which is live designs versus live products, we have quickly realized that this number is number one, so low compared to many others. And I'm going to show you guys all these examples and everything. And that having 12,000 designs up is honestly something that some of the higher sellers will list in a single day. Let's say even, even if it's a month, right? So the numbers like this, especially to somebody new, can be pretty intimidating. It can seem so high, and it like, for example, having, let's look at the biggest numbers. Having 550,000 products live, and then having, for example, 5 sales in the US, let's say 10 sales or 15 sales in total in all the marketplaces, it could just seem so disconnected from each other. And that's the point of this video, especially for new people, because anybody who, the chances are, if you're in tier 200,000, 100,000, uh, anything that I'm saying, number one, is not new to you. And then you would say, yep, that makes sense. Also, most likely you're not watching these videos. People that are in a similar tier as I am and people starting out are the ones watching this. And that's why I'm doing this, because it's so important to actually stay grounded and never get discouraged. Because anytime that you actually get discouraged, you're only hurting yourself. So, for example, I could see a comment like this, and let's say if I didn't have confidence in what I'm doing, or if I wasn't in the place that I am in my life in general, like that could be pretty crushing, right? So I want to use my position in my life where I am, uh, which is extremely comfortable. I have an extremely comfortable lifestyle. And these kinds of things, for example, don't get to me because I've been through so many things with print on demand, with FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon. I've been doing this for years and years and years. And I think that not only do you go through so many failures that it stops bothering you, for example, when you have a certain kind of a performance. But I think the most important thing, like I said, is for people who are choosing to do this versus, let's say, a part-time job. I worked at Burger King when I was in high school. And if I knew this, if I knew that I could do something, or if I could have done back then what I can do now, I never would have done it. I would much rather do something like this. But then if somebody was to say to me, your sales are so terrible, why do you continue to do this? And if I wasn't in the position that I am right now, I probably would have given up. So my message to anybody new is don't. If you actually enjoy what you're doing, numbers at this point are honestly meaningless. What is meaningful is what this means to you. So I know that people in certain countries, for example, if they were having these kinds of sales and getting what I get is about $1,000 US in profits in royalties a month. That is what they need to live and more. They can pay for their housing, for their food, for their entertainment. That's a lot of money, right? For somebody who lives in New York, and that's nothing. That's probably a daily or a weekly budget. It doesn't matter, right? What matters is what it means to you. So I want to look at some of these numbers because you can take this, like I said, from a few different points of view, but I'm gonna try and stay objective and positive. So let's say that we actually look at these numbers and we say, hey, 12,000 designs live. Last month you got 180 sales in the US. Let's go back to last month in total. Almost 300 sales. Why is this so bad? And let's go. The assumption is that this is bad. So why is this so bad? I think anybody who's actually been doing this for a while, we can come up with 100 different reasons why our sales are not doing so well. Number one, like these are the easy things. I'm not putting any money into advertising, so I'm not advertising. There's so many copycats out there that if I put out a design that's actually really good, that starts selling, I would say within a few days, within a few weeks, and definitely within a few months, there are dozens, sometimes hundreds of copies of that design. Another reason is this is such a competitive, saturated marketplace that not only do you have to work so hard to pick your designs and work on titles, keywords, brands, you have to figure out how to separate yourself from thousands of people doing the same thing. Print on demand has been around for a while. There are people who are experts who will dominate this business as soon as they start on day one. Skill level, all of those things are the reason that these sales are bad. Let's look at it from the other point of view. Why are these sales amazing? Again, out of so many designs out there, and I'm talking millions, I'm talking millions and millions of designs on Amazon, you're breaking through and making sales. 300 sales last month. What is the skill level? Do you have zero experience? Are you actually even learning to design? Do you have graphic design, t-shirt design, marketing design experience? Are you selling text-based designs? There are so many things that go into this. And to say, hey, I actually made in my, like somebody put $1,000 in my pocket last month is amazing. And for how much work? For example, somebody like me at this level, I can, without a problem, using 2 or 3 automation tools, spend about half an hour on merch. And I will still make $1,000 in profits a month. If you want to do a little extra, you're going to do research, you're going to do keyword testing, you might run some ads and do all those kinds of things. So all of that brings me to these screens, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm assuming everybody knows who this guy is, Ryan Hogg or Haig. I'm not sure exactly what his last name is. According to YouTube, you guys watch his channel. 99% of you guys watch his channel. And this guy I would consider a successful businessman, right? This guy, not only is he successful with pretty much all print on demand, he's got his own, training course, he's got his own YouTube channel. So let's just consider this dude as someone who is successful. So let's look at his numbers, and we're going to compare them to mine. So this is a video from December. So I'm assuming at this point he has a lot more published designs and products live right now. And as you can see here, somebody in tier 200,000 is able to submit a lot more products a day than someone like me. So the ratio that I'm looking at here is 10 to 1. I'm in tier 20,000. He's in tier 10,000. He has, and I did the math, he has 13 times more designs live than I do. Let me see, 13 times right here, as you can see here. So if we do any of the math, his numbers should be at the most basic level 13 times more than mine are. So let's go here, and I just want to go to the December sales update to look at his numbers. So for December of 2021, he had 3,000 sales. So let's go back to mine. So we look at my numbers. I'll give it a second. This is loading. So actually, let me do this because we have to go here. So we're going to look at December from 1st to 31st, 275. So we look at somebody like him. So let's say if we multiply this by 10, I would have 2,750 sales. He's got about 3,000. So just over my sales. He spent almost $3,000 in advertising. So that's what he's out of pocket after his royalties. Let's look at another month, October. 1,539 sales. Okay, so that's a nice little, October, that's pretty good, right? 1,500 sales. December is the month that, everybody. So what did I have? 558. So according to that whole why are your sales so bad assumption based on the number of designs, this guy should have had 5,000 sales, but he doesn't. So are we saying that according to that mentality, his sales are not just bad, but his sales are terrible in this situation, right? August. Let's look at August. 1,373 sales. So we'll do this one more just to kind of go through a few random months. So my sales in this case, 303. He's got August here. So again, under that assumption that he has 10 times more designs live, he should be over 3,000 sales. Again, why are your sales so bad? Are his sales terrible? Let's say that in this case I say yes, his sales are terrible. These are the worst sales that I can imagine. This guy made $5,000 in royalties. Do you think he cares what tier he's in, how many designs he has live, how many products he has live? No. The whole point that I'm trying to make is all of us as a community, we need to get away from these, I would say, very, very brutal, misleading expectations that just because you're in a certain tier, you have a certain number of live products up, that you should be making a certain amount of money. And the only reason I'm saying this, there's no other reason to say this except for all of you guys that are just starting out, going through your first struggles. Do not get discouraged by anything. First of all, you have to understand that there's a lot of, for example, some people, of course, would have an agenda that are on YouTube, that are selling certain courses and all that kind of stuff. So it really makes it's better for them to have amazing sales in a certain tier, and for that to be kind of the expectation to push, so that you wake up and you say, you know what, if I just do these things, this is where I'm going to be. What I want to do here is, and not just with this video, but in general with my channel, and I've been saying this for a while, is to give you guys just the point of view of some dude that's been learning to do this with zero experience when I started, and to get to the point where with one platform I can get $1,000 in profits every month now for over 2 years regularly. That's what I'm averaging. There have been months when I would get $2,500 in royalties. There have been months where Amazon decides to shut down Merch by Amazon because of, for example, COVID, and everybody gets zero sales, right? Look at this, $200 in royalties in the US. That is business. This is how things function. If you want to expedite, if you want to speed up your success, what you have to do is learn and work. Don't ever go based on these numbers. If I was in a tier 1 million, and let's say I was doing so poorly that my profits were $10,000 a month, I would be extremely happy. To me, the live design ratio versus the money that I'm making, it really, really doesn't matter. What matters is, like, what are you in this for? Are you running a business so you can tell people that you're running a business, and you don't care if you get $0 in profits and royalties? Are you running a business because you want money, you want to earn money? This is why I'm doing it, right? I'm doing it for a number of reasons, but the point is to make money. That's also why I have another store on Amazon. That's why I have my own website. That's why I have an eBay store. That's why I have an Etsy store. That's why I, for example, do other things when it comes to trading and investing, KDP. There are so many things. Also, a full-time job, right? It all depends on what you're doing in life, your lifestyle, what your goals are. If I was 17, 18, 19, and I was going to college, and I was trying to decide how to make some extra money, Would I be happy with $1,000 a month? Absolutely, right? So all I'm trying to do with this video is, number one, is let's say thank you, because if this was a serious question, which it says that it is, this question is so important, because we have to break through. I don't even know how else to call it, but to say that fake uh, expectation, that fake. It's almost kind of like the influencer lifestyle, where everything is just always amazing, that things should happen quickly and easy. That's not the reality. Honestly, there's 100 reasons I could have listed to answer the question, why are your sales so bad? They could be terrible. Depends on your perception. But also, I could give 100 reasons to explain why these sales are so amazing, right? The whole point is, guys, do this if it makes you happy. Never, never, never get discouraged, because something might happen 6 months from now, 3 years from now, that changes your whole life. If I when I started, if I had a clue that I could make 13,000 sales within a number of years, having zero experience, I would have said you're nuts. Because I remember when I started, I would make like one sale a week on Etsy, like I was doing random things. Sometimes one sale in 2 weeks, and me being the optimist, all that would come to my mind is, it's possible. Like, if you can make one sale, you can make 100 sales. If you can make 100 sales, you can make 1,000 sales, right? And so on. You can make 10,000 sales a month, a day. What you have to do is get to that point and learn how to do that, right? Some people, depending on your priorities in life, that can take you 5 years. It can take you 10 years. Other people, it can take you a month, right? That is the point. So when I hear things like that, and again, I've explained to you guys the situation that I'm in life. I have an amazing life, right? So this kind of stuff, these kinds of questions, I really take objectively. And but if it's somebody, let's say somebody started this a month ago, and let's say they're in tier 10, and they see my account and they say, this guy's in tier 20,000, he's got 12,000 designs live, and he made 10 sales yesterday. What is the point? I don't want that for anyone. So with these kinds of questions and everything, and I know that this community can be toxic, and I'm not saying that about this person. Uh, in general, people could be discouraging, and don't give in to that. If you're really serious about this, honestly, stick to your plan. Don't worry about any kind of perceptions or anything, or don't worry about what somebody out there tells you that you need to do. If you're happy with the results, that's all that matters. And that's kind of the message that I want to get out here. Let's not forget, guys. There's people in tiers 200,000 that the ratio is never 1 to 10, right? Like, what was that month that we looked at, October? You know, according to that equation, which again is just completely made up, uh, these sales should be a minimum of 5-6,000 without running any ads, right? So again, we're coming up with all these imaginary numbers that don't mean anything. All that matters is, what does it mean to you, right? I know this has gone on for 24, 25 minutes, and I think it's important. This is one of the more important videos that I think I will put out. But I hope it sends a message out there that everything that I said, right? That it's all about you. People's perception is going to be completely different on not only their lifestyle, their expectations, but the standard of living, the country that they live in, everything that they're able to afford and have in life. So whenever you approach something like this, just take your time and worry about yourself. Never get discouraged. and just keep working, especially if you like it, because if you can turn your hobby into your job and your work, that's success. So I'm gonna leave it with that. Thank you guys. Thank you for all your questions. I want to thank this person especially for asking this. Never be afraid to ask these kinds of questions, because anybody who's objective and neutral and positive will give you a fair answer, and I hope that I did with this video. So I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.